3 of the NFL, and we've got a showdown in the AFC North. It's the Browns and the Bengals, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
Now Burrow on first down. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Browns, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you...
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Jadeveon Clowney able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step up.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
This goes out wide for Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 39-yard line. Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
Another try for Mixon. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Eluding the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Prater's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. Now Burrow. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They'll set up to throw. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown! Austin Hooper. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns have taken the lead.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down. Open man is Chase, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then it curls back inside for the completion.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. Wait, hold a second here. Flag down. Let's see if this will stand. Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
Again, it's Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He'll drop this one down and mix it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner. Nick Chubb hit 21.95 miles an hour on a long touchdown run in 2019, 4th fastest in the NFL, and he flashed the big-time speed again there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns would extend their lead here just before halftime. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Browns to take over. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 remaining on second down. They'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's 2nd and 8. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They're going to look to throw. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now back to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And down inside the 10 here before it's out of bounds right around the 7. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Burrow. Pass incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A well-executed. Executed 22-yard gain. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
What's the deal, y'all?
So that'll back them up 5. The Browns send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati set to take over once again. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the 1st down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Myles Garrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. That'll be caught. Wallace hauls it in. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
And plenty to praise on the play, but this is also a bit of a breakdown defensively because you've got to be right on him when he makes the catch. Otherwise, he has the ability to really make you pay, and he does right there, picking up excellent real estate after the catch.
Steps away to his left. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet and said, go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And how about that return as he's all the way inside the 20-yard line.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. Maybe I go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold them to 3 to keep this a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. And Chubb fighting but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that first down marker. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. They're going for it. This is Harris. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Burrow. Pass complete. Hurst. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Connecting with Mixon. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. 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 I know it's an... never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you? And say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now the Browns down 21-17. And time, a huge factor. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big pickup of 38. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
See if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Flush to his right. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And this one is right down the middle. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Second and 2. Once again, they run with Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And they're going with some extra beef up front. They've got to have this one in overtime. It's 3rd and 1. Slant pass to Boyd. And he's going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Mixon with a first down carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. A handoff to Mixon. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to him.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We need an extra time to decide this one. A rushing score of OT finishes it off. Throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree. And the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime. Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all. And then to get there and finish it what I would call old school way, a running play. Because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great, great game that we bore witness to. So for Cincinnati, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with